6. Man Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 6500. 31. Rotate.
Should I go live and switch the screen over? Or should we wait here just a few more seconds to make sure that everything's working? Do you want to see it? Yeah. What is up, everybody? Hold on, let me adjust my microphone. I was so excited I dang near knocked it off the desk. What is up? The day is finally upon us, ladies and gentlemen. I've been waiting 84 years for this day right here, right now. It has finally happened. The IAE V2500 engine released, as well as a slew of other updates and enhancements. Basically a whole new Block 2 model from Fenix. So the best just got better. And man, I couldn't be more excited to be here live with you today. We've got a lot on the plate. We are doing a normal stream for right now. We're going to go to Las Vegas. We're going to come back. I want to see how this engine sounds. There's new sounds. There's new everything. So we're going to blast off out of John Wayne because short runway, we'll do our noise abatement departure procedures. We'll go to Vegas, we'll come back, and then we'll take a break later this evening. Then we're going to start throwing in some additional failures, and then we're really going to start to break it. And then I've got some fun streams planned for the rest of the week. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have your Fenixes downloading or download it. It is out now. It released right around 11:45 Eastern time. Imagine that, huh? Pretty sweet. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Just ironic, I think. I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, Velociraptor, thank you for the support. V1 on V2 release day, maximum juice. Thank you for the support. Tons of support already in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Already 700 plus here. I couldn't begin to go down the welcome list. So if you are in the chat returning, I appreciate you from tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's have ourselves a fun day today. So there she is, the IAE V2500. I've got a lot of time on these engines right here, and they are my absolute favorite. So as far as liveries for the Block 2, no American out of the gate with the IAE. So we had to cancel our American Airlines reservation. We rebooked you on Spiritual Wangs today, and we're headed over there. We're not doing V-Spirit because I just wanted to spend the most part of the day just kind of getting... see what the airplane's about, see the new stuff, and just kind of enjoy it instead of, trying to follow all of the hardcore SOPs. But we'll do VAL probably on Friday, or V-Spirit on Friday, rather. We're going to do dry cranking this evening. That's not the plan, Foxtrot Risky, but we shall see what happens. Now, I did load in. I recalibrated my throttles. You're going to have to recalibrate your stuff. Make sure everything is good to go, just kind of like when you got the new airplane or when you got the airplane the first time, and it should be good to go. So the only thing that I haven't done is bind window views because I thought it would be fun to go through the cabin for the first time together. I have not even stepped foot in the cabin. This is my first load in. I'm hoping everything works. I loaded into the aircraft. I set it to cold and dark, and I calibrated my hardware. That's it. So we're going to do the rest together, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy the ride with me today. It should be a lot of fun. Time for the oohs and ahs. I mean, yes, chaos. I mean, look at this bird here. Absolutely love it. Love to see it. Got the old, some grime there coming off the rudder. Man, 604 NK is the bird we're flying today. I think there's like 4 or 5 Spirit liveries in the manager. I saw some Uniteds. You got the old school United in there. All the good stuff. Now, I also noticed our jet bridge is not connected, but I think we can do GSX stuff from the EFP. So, without further ado, let's stop messing around. Let's get into the cockpit and let's mess around with it together. So, before we even power anything up, let's set our wing views. Let's open up the cabin door together for the first time ever. So here we go. Smash down the like button if you want me to open the cabin door. We only have 800 viewers and only 268 likes. We need 300 likes to open this door. Smash down that like button so we can open this door. Before we do that, let's just make sure everything else is still functional. Yep, got a functioning jump seat. Cool. Circuit breakers up there. Everything looks good, pretty normal. Okay, smash that like button. Here we go. Wait, actually I want to check one more thing. Okay. Well, I'm going to go up. There's my up. Uninstalling. I can't open the secret hatch. Just kidding. All right. Here we go. 300 likes. Let's open the door. Whoa. Ooh. Ah. Oh, look. We even have a fat panel up here. Was that there on the other one? Ah, I can't open the lavatory? Unacceptable. Just kidding. Very nice. All right. Let's come on down here. Let's find ourselves some good engine views. So we are in... Yeah, this is pretty nice here. The frames are really good in the cabin. All right, let's come out here. No, we don't want that one. We don't want... Ooh, do we want this view? Ooh, can we go? So when I bind views, you got to see how far that lets you go. We're going to go right... we're going to go a little bit further. We're going to go right here, and I'm going to zoom it in. I think we need that view right there. How's that for realism view number 1? We're going to save that number 1. Now we're going to come on back here. Let's put one right next to that old engine. Now, do we use the window? I like these Fenix windows. They look even more clean. I didn't think you could get that whole window texture better than it was already. That's a big, I don't want to say pet peeve of mine, but like when you have a really good add-on and then they have like kind of lazy cockpit window textures, it ruins that cockpit view. Then you just kind of have to like hack yourself outside. But Fenix has always had pretty good window modeling. So, I mean, this view right here, that looks pretty darn good. We can always hide the cabin too, I imagine, right? All right, we're going to save that view, and then we got to get one more dirty view back here. Oh, look at that leading. Oh, man, we got to do a leading edge view. Look at this. Oh, right over the wing. Oh, we might have to do that view. Look at the wing. The wing looks even better. The little bit of dirt coming off the rivets and the hinges right here on the spoilers. Is this real life? This is real life right now. I really think this is real life. Let's keep going. We're going to bind the flap view. We have to have the flap view. Right here is where we're going to do it. Oh, that's perfect. I'm going to set it up right there, and I'm going to save you. Boom, that is saved. So now we're gonna make it real easy. If you wonder how I'm binding views, just want exclamation point wing view in chat. Watch XP72's video. He tells you how to set up all your key commands, so you can literally set up any view in any aircraft the way I'm doing it. And I just make it real easy here. So now I'm just gonna go across. Look at that. We got a little dirt on the window. What is that? A little COVID? We got a little. I don't know. That kind of looks like an old crusty booger there. It doesn't really look like COVID. So I'm going to go back to this view, and then I'm going to run this view across the cabin so they're symmetrical. What is the red triangle on the wing? Red triangle on the wing. Jeremy, I didn't see that. I'll have to look back. I'm going to set this view a little further back right here. Yep. That's going to be that view, and then I'm going to set this one a little bit different. I'm going to kind of stay in the hack view here where we're hacked into the cabin. So, and I'm going to do right. Well, I don't know. I'm vibing with these windows. Let's do this view right here. I'm going to zoom it in. So when we have our first engine start, because we're going to start number 1 first, right? If you want to know what happens when you really start engine 1 first, check out the shorts videos I made. All right, here we go. View is saved. Back to the cockpit. Boom. That was real life. Streamlabs bank angle. Uh-oh, bank angles. Oh, I have all my alerts muted. I'm sorry. Let me undo the alert box there. Callie Simmer coming in with a massive $20 bank angle check. Callie Simmer, appreciate you. If this isn't a day for delicious latte or two, I don't know what is. Let's go V1. Callie Simmer, appreciate that. I don't know why the alert box is not playing. I don't know why it's not playing. I even replayed it. But Callie Simmer, I appreciate you. Very kind of you. There it is. There it comes.
If this isn't a day for a delicious latte or two, I don't know what is. Let's get it.
So it's funny, Callie Simmer, I just texted my wife earlier. I was like, hey, if you're headed out, make sure you stop by the coffee shop, and I'm going to be live. But if you want to bring me a cafe con leche, I wouldn't be too mad. All right, here we go. So we're back. Let's power this thing up, shall we? First ever power up on the Fenix 320 V2 B2. Let's go. 25.5 volts or greater. We've got 27. Ooh, should we do a battery check? I got to reset this camera view here. It's a little crooked. Battery 1. How does my view feel? I feel like I'm just a little bit off kilter. There we go. That's a good overhead. I'm going to save that one. We'll have to do a battery test, because remember Fenix always failed the battery test. We'll see if it fails it here. We've got some gifted memberships in chat. Vies Lang, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you. Turn in the chat green. If you hit a membership, please say thank you to Vies Lang. Appreciate the support there. Very, very kind of you. Jonathan Beaumont, you also joined on your own accord. I appreciate the support. And a massive 20 gifted memberships to over 1,000 viewers already on the channel. Chuck Blake, massive support, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for getting this chat green. I'm going to have to pause the alert box for that one for sure. But really kind of you, Chuck. If you guys pick up a membership from Chuck Blake, make sure you say thank you, because that is massive support here on the V1 channel. All right. I mean, that was so much support. My Streamlabs even froze for a second when you guys dropped all those memberships. All right. Here we go. Spirit is suing Fenix livery painters for extra cash flow. Fly-by-wire for the win. Good to see you, man. Thank you for the support, dude. Glad to have you on board. The chat is absolutely wild right now, guys. I do apologize. Let me get this airplane set up, and then we'll be able, hopefully, to get to some of your questions. I see the mods going through there helping people out, but appreciate you guys. Thank you, mods. All right. We're powered up. We're juiced up here. Let's finish our overhead flow. Let's get the cruise supply on. Ground control. CVR test. There it is. Last second. Okay, ADIR 1, ADIR 2, ADIR 3. I'm going to run you into status. Boom. TTO 8. That looks good. Strobe off nav is coming on 1. No smoking. Auto arm the emergency exit lights. Going right back up the middle panel here. Nothing to check. Everything looks good. Let's do engine fire 1. Engine fire 2. APU fire test. Absolutely wonderful. All 3 is done and up the right-hand side. Everything looks good. PA is out and on. Fantastic. We are up and running. Let's take a listen outside. Oh, no, we don't have the APU running yet. We got to connect the jetway, too. Bill Primo dropping a 50 Canadian drum. Bill, I appreciate you, man. How's the Throttletek holding up for you so far? Hopefully it's still been serving you well. Bill Primo, very kind of you for that massive $50 super chat. Appreciate all the support. Glad to see you are doing well and getting ready to enjoy your Throttletek here soon. But yes, I do have the Throttletek cam up and running. I just recalibrated it. I will show you guys how to recalibrate if you need to know that in the MCDU, just like you did when you got the Fenix for the first time. You do have to do a separate calibration in the McDo. Real simple. Matter of fact, why don't we just take a quick look at that right now, because I think I have to calibrate the side stick. So once you load into your McDo, I go to config here, and then you have your controls. But again, thank you, Bill. That's very kind of you to drop that $50 super chat, man. Go to, where was it? Data link or controls config. That's the one you want, and then calibrate. So I've got my hardware calibrated. There's a little bit of noise, but it's fine because it has like its own dead zones basically. So I've got my climb, flex, toga. Everything works perfectly. There's no noise in the actual thrust levers. There's your idle reverse, full reverse, and again, you want to make sure whatever hardware you're using, you do this calibration in the MCDU. Now, I think we have, let me go to the right here. Let's see. Side stick rudder. Let's go ahead and run through some additional calibrations because I think this is going to be important that we do this. Did I change my side stick sensitivity? Great question, Chaos. Let me double check, make sure everything is linear. I'll show you guys here what I run for the side stick. This is the Warthog base with the FSprojects grip. And as far as the sensitivities, I'm pretty sure I've been running straight linear in the Microsoft settings, and then we'll take a look at the calibration. So yes, everything is straight linear here with the Warthog side stick, so that is good. Let me go back and we'll do a side stick. Do we even need to do any calibration? I don't think so. It seems to be running everything just fine. I don't think I can go full forward because I can't quite reach. Yeah, that's a hardware limitation. I can't, with my mount, I can't quite go full forward, but that's fine. Mickey G gifting another, I'm going to have to pause that alert box again, man. Mickey G dropping another 10 gifted membership. Dude, appreciate the support. On your way home right now, Mickey G, appreciate you, man. A real military Boeing driver in the chat, going home to fly an Airbus. Gotta love it, Mickey G. Drive safe, dude. Enjoy the Fenix when you get home, man. You're gonna love it. All right, rudder null zone. I don't think I need anything else. There's my full left, there's my full right. That's about as far as she goes. I think I have a little bit of curve on there, so I don't think I need to do any calibration there. Flaps. Ooh, we do need to calibrate flaps. Let's go ahead and run through this real quick. Let's do flaps not calibrated. So let's go ahead and calibrate. All right, set flaps to up. You can see on my hardware, the flaps are up. So I'm going to go next step. Set flaps to position 1. Right there. All right, next step. Set flaps to position 2. Next step. Set flaps to position 3. Next step. And it's a short flight, guys, so I think doing this on stream might be good in case anybody has any questions. Set flap full, next step. All right, now I'm going to store. And now let's make sure everything jives. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. All right. Wow, new sounds. You hear that? Like everything sounds a little different. I think I just reset my view on accident. There we go. Let me do magic barrel ref key. All right. Flaps have been calibrated. So again, if you have hardware that's got a flap axis, make sure you go ahead and calibrate that as well. Calibration has been stored, so we are good to go. Go over one more. I think that's it. All right, our flight controls are done. We are ready to go, chat. Let me look at the fancy new EFB here. What do we have? This is our customized aircraft. So let's start with the airframe. DDRMI, yeah, let's throw that in there. ISIS, metric standby, no. Cabin ready memo. Sure, we'll turn that on. Brake fans, nah, fam, we don't need brake fans. DCDU, ooh, it's toggleable now. We are gonna, this is what tail, what, I don't think, what was this old Airbus? This is a 604 number. I don't think they had DCDU, so let's go ahead and keep the DCDU off. SATCOM antenna, European versus American. What's the European one look like? Okay, so that's that SATCOM antenna. Let's look at the European model. Interesting. I had no idea they look different. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I thought it was maybe like a operator, you know, depending on what service they use. I'll go back full screen ham where we're setting up here. Joe Plains Tower Ray, thank you for the 14 months. B2 release day is the best birthday gift. Hey, man, happy birthday to you. Appreciate you joining the chat here, and enjoy your Fenix B2, my man. All right, so that's airframe, airline modify. FLS, you know what? We'll do FLS later, but let's enable it. FLS approaches. TCAS autopilot, no. LDEV, no. AC essential, yes. Yellow hydraulic, yes. Nav and go around, yes. Acceleration height, 1500 feet AGL, sure. Yeah, that's normal for 2 engines. Dual advisory ice detection. Ooh, fancy. No. We don't have that over here on this 604 number. That's what we're going to set up for. EFB mount. Frank, we can change the mounts? What? All right, the ones that I have are like this. They're no suction cup mounts. This is like the, I forget what they used to call these. There's with the suction cup, like Frogtech or something. I can't remember. ACC, what's that? That's the AC Essential Auto Switching. So basically, if you lose essential power, it'll auto switch through the essential bus tie, so you can still keep things going. Now, the older aircraft, it did not do it automatically. You had to actually come up and do the essential bus switch over manually. That eventually was changed, and now it's very fleet dependent on if you have AC Essential Auto Switching or not. Most of ours, I want to say all of ours do now. I think when I first started flying the Airbus, we had a couple that didn't do that automatically, and then the FAA had a problem with that. Rightfully so, because if you have to use the AC Essential bus tie, you probably have more issues going on. So the FAA cracked down and that said, hey, we need to get everything in line. So I would be shocked if we had one in the fleet that was not auto. When did it update? It just updated. JP, thank you for gifting 5 more memberships to the channel. Very, very kind of you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate all of the support this afternoon. You guys are awesome. All right, let's continue on with the cabin. Cabin lights. We don't need lights right now. It's daytime, but we'll definitely keep the cabin on. Controls, SDS. I don't know what that is. Rudder damping. Wow, we're going to have a lot of testing to do later today. Scrolling acceleration. I'm going to leave everything off for now. Incremental thrust. That's for keyboards. EFIS barrow, we're going to sync them up. Control left, auto simulation, auto door. Okay, excellent. RA callouts, that looks fine. Units, feet, inches, pounds. GSX, here is the juice. Let's take a look at this GSX here. Is it safest to uninstall the old one before getting the new one? A name howitzer? I was told that initially yes, and then I said it doesn't matter because the new installer will remove old files. So I personally uninstalled the Fenix before reinstalling it with the new one. So I uninstalled everything. I deleted all my old liveries from the community folder. I did that all at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. this morning whenever I got to the office. Stick dampening system. Thank you, Carol. Oh, that's what we talked about when they were trying to make the TCA fly more real. We're going to leave that off for now, but the stream later today, we're going to test this. This is going to be our semi-normal flight. I just want to do a round trip leg. It's only like a 30-minute flight, guys. It'll be super short. We'll get to see the airplane in motion, all normals. And then later this evening, we're going to start playing with stuff, and then we're going to start breaking stuff. But right now, I'm going to leave it off because I believe this was for the enhanced dampening for toy joysticks. Well, they're all toy joysticks, for entry-level sticks, basically. Use the recommended sensitivity with SDS for the full package, says Amir Thacker. Okay, well, if he's in the chat, Amir, good to see you, man. We will do it. So use the recommended sensitivity with SDS for the full package. I'm gonna see what it's like first. I wanna go with it off first. But Amir says to do the recommended sensitivity and SDS on. This will be a good for testing later. I want to see firsthand what it feels like to just go ahead and go down and rotate this airplane for the first time without changing anything and see what it is. It says minus 20% is the recommended sensitivity curve. So there you go. So recommended negative 20% on the curves and SDS on. So that was the stick dampening that we talked about when we watched the in-flight entertainment of the release video. All right, let's take a quick look at GSX, though. Fuel catering and boarding. Okay, auto catering while refueling. Sure. I want to see what this. Rate for refuel before boarding. No. Auto select ground handling. That's fine by me. Auto pushback. Okay. Auto pushback. Let's just leave it all on auto. Let's see what happens. All right, cabin announcements. All right, cool. Everything is, I think, is set up there. Let's go my flight. We've already uploaded it. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let's go ahead and download. Nope. Hold on. Ground services, my flight, re-import from SimBrief. Let's do that. Can you do a PA in V2? I believe you. Oh, you mean like hit the PA push button? I'm not sure. So the question is then, aha, there we go. Load aircraft. Let's do it. Let's do real 27 minutes. We have 27 minutes? What the hell? Let's see what happens. Loading aircraft. Where's the jetway? Do we still have to toggle the jetway over? Just click load? No. Oh, no. What? Oh, I screwed it up. Wait, what? Just click load. I hit load aircraft. F's in chat. Rip. Hold on. We can reset all. See? Reset all. Let me go back. Import. Ground services. Let's try again. Ah. Couldn't be any simpler. Literally says GSX. I did that on purpose. I wanted to see if y'all were paying attention. All right, I hit GSX. Now what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Hopefully GSX is running. We've been having GSX issues. Yeah, Kutal's on, right? Yeah, Kutal's on. Everything's up. Doors are open. I see bags. You're taking your like back for that? Well, let's just continue on. Let's go down here. Let's load up let's see if anything happens. We'll do the init request. We'll pull our flight plan from here and go from there. Give it time, says Caro. Okay, we're going to give it time. Let's just go through our flow then. Let's get our airplane set up and let's get out of here. Invalid flight plan uplink. I wonder if there is something else I need to, let's see, configuration required. Oh, hold on, let me go back. Configuration required. Data link config. All right, that's already in there. Flight plan, initialization. Actually, let's go MICDO, ATSU, AOC menu. Flight initialize. Init data request. Oh, AirRack out of date. That might be it, Lauren. Perhaps. That's there. Carol, I don't know if I updated the AirRack. Survey says no. That's fine. We'll survive. We're going to make it, because guess what? Guess what we can do if it doesn't upload? We'll do it the old school way. We'll go KLAS, or no, where are we at? SNA. KSNA to Las Vegas. Well, how old is the AirRack then? That's my question. Let's go data, aircraft monitor, aircraft status. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. That's out of date. It's only about 3 years out of date. There needs to be an instruction manual with this airplane. I'm just kidding. We'll survive. Hey, look. I flew these airplanes in 2021 and we survived. So we'll survive again. We're just going to do it old school way. But that's definitely out of date. Maybe we shouldn't be on a network. NKS 357. Look, this is a testing stream, right? This is a testing stream. We're going to go cost index 75, cruise flight level. It'll be very interesting to see if we have, let's make it threes. Wet east is odd, so Bill will get mad at me if I don't put an odd altitude in there. So we'll go 310. Let's see what type of procedures are in here from 2021. Fractality. Yeah, of course I wouldn't read it, man. I was just kidding. All right, let's see here. So let's depart SNA. We need to go off 20 right. What kind of departure procedures we got? What did we file, number one? So we filed the Hobo 3, which is not in there, which I'm actually surprised Hobo 3 is politically correct. But all right, so Hobo 3 is not there. Let me see. Do I remember what we used to fly out of here? Anaheim 1, the Hawk 3, Fins, Channel 3, Muscle 8. I remember doing the Muscle 8 one time. Let's do the Muscle 8 departure. And let's go to, let's just leave that. Let's see what there goes. Muscle 8, that's actually going east, I think. How dare Phoenix not include the new AirRack update? Well, Mike P, that's why I thought I'm surprised that, oh, the Seashell. That's going to take us nowhere. That's just the muscle. That's just literally out the muscle. We don't want that. Let's change that. 20 right. Goodness. Hero sounded right. Anaheim 1, where's that go? Hector, that sounds right. We'll go there. We'll insert that. And look, we'll go arrivals, Vegas 26 left. And then we will do, I refiled the rounders. That ain't going to be in there. Oh, it is. Rounders 1. Hey, look at that. Rounders 1, Meisen transition. And then guess what? We'll just go direct Meisen after takeoff pretty much. All right. We'll go ahead and bring those two together with 242 on the distance. That's not terribly off. Bill Primo dropping another massive 50 bomb. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. He says, whenever I do transatlantic and not in a rush, I tend to do things manually, but getting myself to wean off the SimBrief data link. Yes, so I'm more independent when it comes to loading your flight plan. Helps out a lot. Bill, appreciate another massive $50 bomb there, man. Very kind of you. Indeed, it's always good to have the knowledge behind loading your flight plan manually, because you never know when your uplink will fail or when you get a full route clearance and you got to do it the old school way. So our fleet, the ones I fly, it kind of varies. You know, the older birds, you still have to put them in most of the time. Old school like we just did here. The newer ones will uplink. A lot of the times they will uplink it through the secondary, which is something that I could do a whole video on. But yeah, having the knowledge to do it the old school way and just plug it in, especially doing airways and stuff, is definitely helpful. Even if you get a reroute in, maybe you're flying a long haul and you get a reroute and you got to plug the box manually, do airway structures and stuff like that. So knowing that is an important part of understanding this box completely. But thanks again, Bill. Very kind of you, man. All right, SNA to SNA. If we have to come back here, actually realistic here, let's be semi-realistic. Initialization, blasting off at a SNA. If we pop an engine, got to go somewhere, we're going to LAX. We're not coming back in here. Why is that invalid? KSNA, KLAX, because you're not going to come back to John Wayne in an emergency, unless your wings are about to burn off, like through the wing spar or something. Going to LAX, we'll just put in something or 25 left. That's fine. Secondary perf, whatever it is, we'll put the 200 in there because I don't want to look it up on the radio mins. We'll zero out the winds. Temp off the ECAM is 16. It's a beautiful day. And the meter says Magic Barrel Ref 30-6. Gotta love it. 30-6 in the barrel is set. That's done on the secondary rad nav. Nothing to hard tune progress. We'll put John Wayne in here. Boom, perf data. We'll go to the init B page and leave it as so. And let's go ahead and get the APU fired up. And let's take a look at our fuel. We've got 6.6 on board. We have a company message though. What's that all about? I think we're gonna need more gas. The hero departure guru is one I should have done. I'll look at it here in a second. Let me see what we have. Received messages. A couple of load sheets here. That was the prelim. What's this one? Another prelim? Because because I reloaded it, right? We'll accept both of those. All right. Let's go ahead and fire up the APU. Let's take a listen outside. I still don't see any action outside from GSX. I can't imagine the hype if Phoenix came out with a 737. Look, I had a speculation that the next Phoenix aircraft is going to be a 7.3. I just got a feeling it's going to be a 7.3 Classic, 7.3-400. I think it's going to be a 7.3-400. I don't know. I hope it's a Classic. Please be a Classic. 200 or 300 would be even better. I had to update GSX. Oh, you have to tell... oh, no, I didn't tell GSX to start loading. I didn't update GSX. Ah, I was not aware you had to update GSX. Man, let's see all these updates. That's what I need. Actually, I don't know. I think my GSX might need a reinstall anyway, because check this out. This happened before we installed the Block 2. Remember the last stream? I've been having GSX issues since the last stream, which, to be honest with you, I'm fine with it. Let's go ahead and... what if I send this to McDo? Nobody's boarded, though. I could see this would be a problem. Do you request fueling as your GSX menu? Well, so my GSX, I'm going to restart it first before I can the whole thing. I'm going to kill Kutal. Hopefully this doesn't crash our stream.
John Wayne traffic speed for knife attack at that radio.
Oh, I heard someone's PAs, aren't there? I just reset all and instant load. That's what I'm gonna do, Guru. I'm gonna go reset all. What? I keep hearing an announcement or something. Reset all. Okay, now we're gonna go back. We're just gonna just gonna do it instantly. Yeah, I know, Ming. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Wait and balance. Load aircraft instantly. Ain't nobody got time to update GSX. Can you update it? No, I don't believe you can update it while the sim is running. But yeah, I've been having GSX issues for a while. All right, aircraft loaded. Cool. Now what happens if I send this to McDo? This is where I want to see. Okay, so we're loaded up here. Planned. All our fuel numbers are on board. Let's get our fuel tank pumps on. That's good. We're going to go ahead and turn on the APU bleed. Turn off the external power. That should be in the captain. I missed that. We got a bunch of new load sheets because I spam reloaded it. So just let me clear these out real quick. EFB is much faster though. You're right. It's been so nice I didn't even notice it. We'll accept that final one right there. We'll accept that final load sheet. Now I am very curious about this. This is still a pseudo testing stream. Let's send to McDo. I don't know if I clicked it. Okay, definitely clicked it there. We'll see if anything pops up. If not, we might have to do some more updating. GSX issues only happens on days that end in Y. Exactly, Gray Shirt. Exactly. Do you read the GSX integration in the knowledge base, or did you go full-on gamer mode? I got this. I don't need instructions. Michael, I went full-on gamer mode, man. I just figured it would work because it used to work all the time. So I just turned it on and went full send mode. Got those fuel pumps running nice. See that speed bed out there. And it'd be, hey, look at that. 134.5, 30.7 on the CFG. So that did bring everything in. 12.4 on the block fuel. Now, when we do instant fuel, hey, look, so when you used to do instant fuel, it used to improperly load the fuel tank. So now it looks like that's fixed. Awesome. That's a good start there. So everything is on board and balanced. Because remember, it wouldn't put any fuel in those tip tanks. But that's good there. Beautiful. All right. So in that case, what we'll do is we'll go over here and let's close those up. We'll pull the chocks and cones. We've already disconnected the GPU. I will do a perf analysis. Ooh, look how fast this EFB is. Look how fast. All right, SNA, nope, we're gonna go 20 right, dry. Sync the final load sheet. Oh, we're doing a Toga. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Optimum flap. Actually, we are required to do a flaps 3 Toga, packs off. So, well, I don't know, it depends. Well, you can do a packs on takeoff, but we need to hit, wow, we only hit 585 likes already. Jeez. If we hit 600 likes, we'll do packs off. I'll give you an easy target. We'll do packs off. But out of here, for noise abatement, we're required to do a flaps 3 Toga. Packs will be dependent upon the load. All right, sync live. And we're not going to do any intersections. Let's calculate. Let's see what we get. Come up here. 23, 29, 30. Those look pretty good numbers there. Flaps 3, down 0.3. No flex. Now, check this out. Send to menu. So before we do that, okay, so the perf page is up. Let's see what happens. Send to McDo. Wow, look at that. Now we are welcomed to the 21st century. Except I guess my air rack is from 2021. But we can still uplink takeoff data properly now. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, and packs off. Good. All right. Thank you guys for hitting that like button again. I don't know if this is going to change it much. Out of curiosity, let's see if it changes at all with packs off. 23, 29, 30. Let's see. No, 23, 29, 30. It's probably only going to change, I would imagine, second segment stuff, maybe? So, cool. But it'll definitely change the sounds. So, packs off, flaps 3, static, Toga, takeoff. Reduction and acceleration. Now, we do have to change this here. And I left my my iPad in the truck. So that's not good. What is the... I think it's 15 and 3, so it's like 960. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to look, see if I have my notes here. Our real thrust reduction and acceleration. I know I had it here. Professions. I remember I have it here. Hold on, give me 1 second. So we need to put in there 860 and 3060. 860 and 3060. 860 and 3060. And the reason when you do this after you uplink the takeoff data is because the takeoff data that you get is going to be, it does not taking into account noise abatement. It's basically just doing, you know, clearing obstacles and all that stuff. So noise abatement, we have to uplink separately after, or input separately after we uplink takeoff data. This can be a gotcha. I mean, there's a couple of departure procedures, even in like Orlando, for example. If you're going northbound, there's a few RNAVs that have a very steep climb gradient, and you have to manually adjust the thrust reduction and acceleration. And if you don't, or if you do it before you uplink the takeoff data, if I were to uplink takeoff data, it would wipe this out. Let's see, for testing purposes, if I resend these numbers, if it'll wipe it. So I'm going to recalculate. I'm just going to resend it for testing purposes. Ah, didn't wipe it. So in the real airplane, if you were to, well, to be fair, that wasn't a good test because we already had it loaded up. If I want to see, we'll have to do it on the next stream when this is a blank slate and it uploads. But yeah, 860, 3060 is in the box. Yeah, Team Vodka, I appreciate you, man. I didn't see that there till after. All right. 860, 3060. We don't have any ATC online. Let me do one quick check of the Iveo WebEye just to make sure. And that's probably good, because if ATC came online, we'd probably have to disconnect because we don't have proper charts. And I don't want to be getting vectored without the proper air rack, considering we are almost 3 years out of date. So, all right, nobody's online. That's good for now. So let's go ahead and get out of here. APU bleed is on. Everything is on. Let's get the beacon on. And we'll set a top altitude initially of flight level. We'll just go all the way up to 31. That's a little aggressive. You can see the slides are arming there. That's really cool. All right, 30-6310 is set before start checklist. Windows, doors, and slides, close and arm. Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is on. Before start checklist is complete. So let's make these look a little bit more realistic. Let's put the flight plan page over here on the pilot monitoring. We got ours over here. Let's get on 122.8 if we're not already, and we'll put this on auto. And we are on 122.8. Let's go ahead and close. Ah, see? That's proper. Close the door. Excellent. And we'll get this out of the way. All right. Windows, doors, and slides, they are closed and all armed now. Since we don't have GSX working, I will do it the old school way. So let's go to the Fenix tab. Let's go to ground services. Let's toggle the jetway. Oh, we have a QRH and EFB. I forgot there's so much more. Yeah, it's so much more. This is like, guys, this is my first look live with you. We're going full gamer mode. We're going full gamer mode here. But yeah, I forgot. Let's hold on. But that is important. Where is it? Failures. Are you serious? Hold on. Fire protection. Fuel, auto flight. Hold on. Scroll down. Power plant. FADEC. Surges. Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun today, y'all. Engine bird strike. Reverser pressurized. Ooh, that's a nasty one. Well, not as nasty as unlocked. Vibration. Ooh. Enter Pratt & Whitney. Reverser shutoff valve. Look at these EIUs. I was wondering if I could do a compressor vane. I guess that would be, I don't know. If you remember, you saw the shorts I just released. Had like, IAEs have been really good to me. The last month I had 2 compressor vane faults in 1 month. Man, look at all that. All right, cool. Where is the manual, though? Where's the QRH? Departure, arrival, navigraph, Oh, I probably have to upload mine, so that's probably not synced. Pilot briefing. Documents. What? Fenix user guide. Hey, I bet you it tells you to update your air rack and update your GSX. QRH. Ah. Loading QRH. A PDF version is available. That's probably really long. That's probably a lot to load. There she is. Oh my gosh. Look how... how do you scroll this? I will say, I love this EFB. This is amazing. But Fenix has something against wider scrolling bars. Look how tiny that little thing is there. Oh my goodness me. Can I search in this? Or do you just have to like know where you're going? System reset table. That is critical. Look at this juice. What do we have? What's this one? Engine bleed fault. Engine 1-2 bleed fault. Cabin pressure high. Oh yeah. Okay, we got to push off the gate and get out of here. I'm just amazed at this. You have an entire QRH in your EFB here. So you no longer need it. I no longer need to bring my iPad to the office.
John Wayne traffic speed of 9 for tower day.
A speed bed.
Delta, we're pushing back stand
All right.
16, not by our choice.
We'll play with that later. NOTAMs? Are you kidding me? It like sets the NOTAM separately. This is amazing. This is actually better than the one that we have on our real life EFB. Weather brief, because I have to like the way ours is, it's a little bit harder to get to just the NOTAM section. This is like right here. I like it. Oh my goodness. Look at our whole flight plans in the box. Yeah, well, we're not flying that route, so. And there's our OFP. My goodness. Look at that. Plan. Let's just make sure we got a min takeoff, 11.8. Okay, enough playing around with EFB. You guys got to see some of the new features there. Absolutely awesome, though. That's really cool. Yeah, Jeremy, XP has no excuse not to run failures. Nobody has an excuse to not run failures now. Speaking of failures, one last thing before we push back. I'll be able to do this here. I'm going to connect tug. All right. I think it's an imaginary tug is connected. Now, let's make sure. Do we have to enable failures? Mate or config failures random. I don't just want to like trigger. We're going to go high. Random all. Well, let's go realistic. Makes me nervous. We'll do high later. Done. NOTAMs were there since V1? Really, Gene? I must have just not paid attention to it. All right. We're ready to go. Enough messing around. John Wayne traffic, Spear Wings, 357 pushing back off of 19. All right, here we go. Let's pull up the Throttletek cam. Let's release our parking brake. And let's go. XP's here. Good to see you, man. Yeah, let's not try high failures just yet. Slam cannon NOTAMs too long, didn't read. Oh my gosh. Oh. That direction. Look at me. I'm basically a tug driver. Would you use both QRH and FCOM? Jeremy, it depends on the state of the failure. It depends on what type of failure you have. Look at those engines, though. So much better than CFM rinky-dinkies. Look at that big meaty IAE out there. This is too cool. I can't wait for our first startup. Let's go straight a little bit. Let's go a little bit back this way. I mean, that's fine. We'll do it at a little bit of an angle here. He pushed back perfectly on the line. This Speedbird overachiever. All right, we'll stop here. Push complete, set brakes. Brakes are set, clear to disconnect. Thanks for the push. Show me the pin out front. We'll see you next time. Look, they even have a fancy little, look at this. Registration, serial, all your weights. Let's see if they're right. Max taxi 56. Max takeoff 156. Landing 1. Max landing 132. Meh. What are we in? What engine? What airplane is this? We're in a 320, aren't we? V27A5. Yeah, 132 is a little low, but close enough. We'll survive. All right, it's time. We've got 1,100 viewers here, and I can't wait for this engine start. I'm going to turn the sounds all the way up. We've been waiting forever, for 84 years. Ooh, look at that. All right, we're going to start engine 1 first. Engine mode to ignition start. Outside or inside, chat? We got to do outside. We got to do inside first. I'll tell you what. Let's hide the cabin. Let's hide the cabin. Let's hide the cabin. Nope. Oh, I love this. Whoever came up with looking for airplane settings, go here. Best feature on any EFB ever. Whoever came up with that little like hot link, because I always go to the wrong settings page. All right, no cabin for engine start. Inside first. Here we go. Starting engine 1. Everybody be quiet. Shh, shh. What if I start 2 first? Oh, yeah, start 2 first. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. Shh. Oh, look. You guys hear the air coming back on? Listen to this. So because we left the ignition into ignition start so long without turning the engine on, the airplane's like, hey, you're going to smoke your passengers out here. Let's get the air going back on. So now, let's go advanced mode. Let's go back to norm. Now, you don't have to do this. If I were to just start 1, the air would cut out and it would start. But let's just see here for testing purposes. Wow, it didn't cut out. That's crazy. There it goes. There it goes. Cut out again. Starting engine 1. All right. Shh, 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 shh.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe the cabin crew member closest to you as we are about to demonstrate the safety features of our Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our Airbus A320. Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks,
All right.
life jackets.
Who this girl? She just ruined my moment here.
Must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit.
Our moment has been ruined. How do we... Kill cabin announcements. No. Enough. I don't want you. All right, well, we got an engine start. She ruined it. Let's go outside. Let's try again. We're going to try again from right here. We offloaded the purser. All right, we should probably watch this from inside, but... Man, the texturing inside of here, that engine looks good. I clicked off the screen there. It had a little bit of that ghosting. That was from the frame gen mod. That wasn't the airplane. That was just because we had the frame gen mod on. But that, I definitely think, you can see when I turn frame gen on. So like, look, that's not an airplane thing. That's frame gen on, frame gen off. So it's not the Fenix, it's just my frame gen doing that little ghosting thing there. I definitely think it sounded better from the outside than the inside. But we'll have to reassess. If you want to mute the flight attendant, so you can. Cabin announcements enabled, mute. I have them muted for this flight because we just want to be left alone for this flight. Okay, we just need to be left alone. But yeah, so I've got them muted. I should probably. We'll just put the. I don't think that's not. I know Navigraph is not going to be linked, so we'll just leave it like that for now. All right, we got 2 good starts. That's going there. That's going there. Let's see what flaps sound like. About the same. Juicy. All right, let me go ahead and turn the cabin back on, though, because I do like that. See, look, right here. Best option ever. I always go to settings, and I'm at the wrong settings. Cabin, now we'll turn it back on. Oh, yeah. That's the juice right there. All right, that's good. That's good. Let's do a flight control check. Flight controls, full up. Full down, neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. We got the tactical flip-flops in. Full right and neutral. That's good. Let me go back to perf. What are we? 0.3 down. There she is, 0.3 down. And we're going to go... We'll do old school packs off, so we'll actually turn the APU bleed off. Real life, we'd leave the APU on. I did miss an additional 20 super chat from Bill. Bill, I apologize, man. Thank you for the $20 super chat. It says, my work break's almost over, but wishing you a safe flight. Breathe that life to those engines. Bill, hopefully you did miss that here. I'm sorry it took a while to get back to that super chat, but I appreciate you. Thank you for all of the support today, Bill, and I hope you get to enjoy some Fenix V2 Block 2 when you get back to your sim. All right. We're ready to go. You ready to go? I just want to go flying. But I know what we're going to do. We're going to do a taxi light on. We're going to go outside view. John Wayne traffic. Spirit 357 taxi runway 20 right. 20 right? Yeah, 20 right. We got a speed bird up there. Brakes released. Outside view.
John Wayne Speedbird 95 Tango Delta. We're crossing 20 left and lining up 20 right. Traffic please advise. John Wayne.
Oh, yeah. There's the IAE that I want to hear. Let's do that again. Oh, yeah. That is the IAE scream that I want to hear. All right, we're going down to 20 right. Let's do a forward call. We'll go auto brakes, max, takeoff config, checked. That's going there. That's going there. TARA. TA only selected. Beautiful. Now, I wonder if I need to rebind. Let me see if my nose wheel steering disconnect is bound properly. I don't believe it is. Let me try. Let me look out here. Nope, it is. Okay, I think it's just because Microsoft has that thing. It, like, for some reason, it still gives it a little bit more authority. But if I stop it, yeah, there we go. So it's bound right. It stops the nose wheel. Close enough. The document, oh, I only click it, Chaos? Maybe I'm supposed to only click it. Let me make sure I have proper steering. Yeah, nose wheel steering is still working. And if I use just rudder pedals, I get a little bit of left and a little bit of right. So it's working good now. I think you're right, Chaos. I think it was a toggle, right? How do you turn off frame gen mod? I just click on my other monitor. All right, we're going to hold short here until he blasts off. So we're not blocking 20 left in case anybody's coming in.
95 Tango Delta will be departing 20 right. No packs, full Toga, sending it.
All right. Ooh, he's going to go full go. All right, we'll cross. John Wayne traffic, exterior wing 357, crossing 20 right, holding short. Correction. Crossing 20 left, holding short 20 right, John Wayne traffic. Alright, he's going to give it a full send Toga. I can't believe you have CFM. Do you have CFM engines on there? Oh, he's in a takeoff roll.
No, sir. I got IAEs, and they're screaming.
He's doing an empty flight on a 320 out of John Wayne. Show off. He is showing off. A little under-rotated there. There he goes. Nah. He didn't do it properly. We're going to do it properly, chat. We're going to do a proper static flaps 3 Toga. Alright, we're going, everything's on. Those are coming on, those are on, those are on. John Wayne traffic, Spirit Wing 337. Line up and wait. 20 right, John Wayne traffic. Oh, we're going to line up and wait now. John Wayne departing real life. Static, flaps 3, Toga. We're going to go packs off, so as we cross the hold short line here, we'll go ahead and go old school, packs off. Remember, you can accomplish the same thing by running the APU bleed, which is the preferred method if available. Some airports have a little more APU restrictions, especially when you start flying in other countries. But in the U.S., generally, if the APU is operative, we're going to run APU bleed instead of packs off. But you will accomplish the same thrust output with the APU bleed on as you would with packs off and the APU off. Alright, 20 right. We got a status message. That's normal. That is for pack 1 and 2 off. That checks. Alright, this is with SDS off, and we're complete linear. So this is how I used to run my Fenix all the way up until today. Amir said to run SDS on and use the recommended curve profile. So I will run that, but only after I see how this feels here with the straight linear. I want to see if I notice any difference out of the gate with how I used to run this airplane. Why am I not using SNA scenery? Phantom, I actually don't know. I thought I had one, man. I'm actually kind of surprised I don't have one there. I think I do have one. I think this is a scenery. Maybe not. Maybe it's X-Plane. Either way, it's enough chitter chatter. Who's ready for yogas? Nose forward on the stick. We got 1,000 people. This might be a record on stream. Everybody who's a member, get your yogas in chat. Let's spool them up 50. We'll spool them up 50 from the inside, and we'll go full Toga from the outside. You ready? That's a good view right there. Here we go. Spool them up 50. 1.05 EPR for those that don't know. Let me actually check. Let's check our EPR indications. So we should be about 1.05, which is about halfway between the first tick mark. Perfect. 1.05 or about 50, 45% thrust, close enough. Watch your ears. I'll turn it down a little bit. Yoga. Brakes released. Oh, baby. Toga SRS runway. Auto thrust is blue. Wow, we're actually pretty heavy. 80 knots. Thrust set. 100 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Fly with. Oh, man. Those engines are working, baby. All right, there's thrust lever climb. I missed it. We should have come right back. Oh, thrust climb. We're still... That was our reduction. We're still going to maintain this pitch until 3060. Listen to those engines humming. Oh my. Game is too quiet. Are you serious? So we're still holding that SRS. 146. Air pack 1 off, air pack 2 off. Let's go ahead and go pack 2. Start the chrono. All right, now we're in our climb profile. There's F speed. We'll select flaps 1. And that's about 15 seconds. Pack 1's coming back online. Chrono off. Here comes S speed. At S speed, we'll go flaps 0. Flaps 0 after takeoff checklist. Look at those wing textures. Oh my goodness. IAE go brr. All right, no, I'm curious. I'm gonna turn it down just a tad because it's pretty loud for me. I've noticed it definitely felt different on that rotation. I really don't know how to put it into words yet. I'm gonna make this 90-degree turn here. We'll do a bank angle check to the right, and then we'll try turning on the SDS on our return leg. So we'll just get a little bit of a vibe check here without SDS on. There's our bank angle check to the right. IAE go burr. My goodness. Let's go direct Meisen. John Wayne traffic, Spirit Wings 357, that's 6.6. We're turning right, northeastbound, direct Meisen. Last call, John Wayne. It did feel a little bit like a two-step rotation, Chaos. Like I started to pull back, and then I felt like I needed a little bit more juice in there. Now, I'm not sure if I need to get SDS on or not. It didn't feel wrong. It just felt different. It didn't help that I flew a Neo yesterday. But I'm on an IAE tomorrow. All right, let's go AP1 on. I'm going to adjust this view a little bit. There we go. Let's take a listen to that sound cone as we go to the back of the wing here. Very nice, very nice. You can hear the difference in sound. Same for you, Zippy says it felt like you didn't have enough AOA when you rotated there. All right, there's 10K. Let's go ahead and get our lights off. Wing lights off, nose taxi lights coming off. We'll do a little forward ding here, let them know we're at 10K. Let's take a look at our cabin since we did have them cooking there with the packs off. 76, 78, let's run it down a little bit. Cool everybody down. All right, 11, climbing 31. 31 is aggressive for this sim brief. I tell you what, let's do a new cruise altitude, and let's do flight level 28. Let's do 27. So we can level off sooner and look at more things. So we'll go 270 for the initial cruise. Now, since it's a lower altitude than planned, we will have to put it in the MCDU. If it was a higher altitude than planned, it would automatically update. But lower, we got to put it in the MCDU. So 270 is set. I'm going to turn down the sim just a little bit more. Almost looked like a 7-3 rotation. It was definitely interesting, Tom. What we might do is in Vegas, we might actually just do a touch and go. I'll go back to full screen cam here. We might do a touch and go in Vegas because I want to see. Well, that wouldn't really help because that throws everything out of whack. I don't know. I don't don't dislike it, but I'm curious to see what SDS would do. Now, Amir said it's also a negative 20% curve with SDS on. That's very interesting because I wanna see how that feels, because I haven't run curves on my Fenix in a very long time. So I'd be very curious to see what happens when I throw a curve on there and activate the stick dampening system. I wonder, and I guess rudder dampening is very similar. Captain Tom, good to see you, man. Well, there's quite the view, getting ready to go over the hills here. Oh, you know what I forgot to run is my... Oh, that's running. Okay, cool. Look at that. A proper engine. Currently on Block 2, Ellis, I'm loving it. The toolbar isn't updating again. I'll tell you what. We'll just do this. FlyLive must use something that Fenix also uses, and they're competing for something because it bugs my FlyLive. I noticed Flight Deck to Sim stopped using FlyLive as well, so I might end up just canning the whole overlay thing. We'll see. But Captain Tom, man, good to see you. It's been a while. Have you got any of the PA? Ellis, we turned them off. We turned off the PAs for this flight. We got one PA on our initial engine start. She totally ruined our vibes. So we muted her for this flight. That's a pretty realistic view right there. I'll save that view. Dang, that looks straight out of real life. AJ Funari, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate it. Sorry, Miss V1. We'll send him home in a couple days. Are we going to break out the emergency V1 HQ cotton 6-pack? Oh my gosh, AJ. I don't know. I wish I could. I got to do a trip tomorrow. Just a turn though. But we'll be back. We're going to do double up today, and then we're going to hit up Friday with some more spiritual wangs ops. But appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. Shaq says, I just had my first engine start in the sim, and I think I need a shower, and I don't stink. Shaq. British Avgay, good to see you, man. Volanta overlay is neat. Yeah, you know, I have noticed the Volanta craze. I've seen you using it. I've seen a couple other creators using it, and I like the information that you get from Volanta. Like, that's the one that has the touchdown stuff, right? You can see where you touch down on the runway and, like, where you landed on the runway specifically. I believe that's Volanta, right? That does look very interesting. I am intrigued in that. Uh-oh, Mike P, I do have him muted, man. Sorry, let me unmute the alert box there. The alert box was going nuts at the get-go.
Vegas. Thanks.
Mike P, appreciate the $10 super chat, my man. Appreciate you. Or the $10 bank angle check. I hope you had a wonderful trip in Vegas. And I hope you have a good weekend. And Mike P, are you going to FS Expo? Because that's going to be in Vegas. That's right in your neck of the woods, man. That's like that's your home away from home. Volanta, it's all in one app. It also shows the squawk codes. Really interesting. Sim Toolkit Pro also does it, but not as visually impressive. I stopped using Sim Toolkit Pro because it started giving me stability issues in X-Plane 11. All right, let's go ahead and hit the standard barrel ref. STDs for you, me, and the jump CETA. Oh, that synced them all up. All right, let's take a look at these IAEs. Let's take a look at this EPR gauge here. We'll go over this briefly. Remember, this wasn't this stream is not intended to be very much of an instructional stream. It's kind of a first look. Literally, we bound our wing views together, but we can hit some topics there. I know this will be a topic of discussion with the IAE engines, is why is my gauge look so different now? How do I set power? What am I doing? Engine pressure ratio, or EPR, that's going to be your primary source for setting power in the airplane with IAE engines. To make EPR as simple as I can with still hitting the main points, the EPR, engine pressure ratio, is the ratio of pressure from the engine inlet. You'll notice you got the T2 inlet probe. I think somebody mentioned it when we did the outside engine air start. You could actually see it. It's physically modeled. The inlet pressure and then the outlet pressure. And it's measuring, the air going in, and then obviously the compressed air goes through the compression, ignition, then it's shot out the back, checking the ratio out the rear. So why do we use EPR? What is the point of engine pressure ratio when I can just use my N1, which is the low pressure compressor fan speed, or the N1? The real reason why why it's there is you have to, when an airplane is made, they got to decide which way are you going to indicate thrust to the crew. And EPR used to be the norm. When you had very low bypass engines, JT8Ds, there's a couple other very low bypass engines that were used. Those were all really EPR gauges. N1 really started becoming popular on, what was it? Somebody was telling me this the other day. I was actually kind of surprised. But the EPR is really the only true way to know how much thrust your engine is actually outputting versus just your fan speed. All right. So you can have a fan speed of 3% because it's windmilling, but you can have zero thrust. So in that case, EPR would be more accurate, right? So engine pressure ratio, while it's really the only true representation of the actual engine thrust, you're starting to see now more and more common, especially with super high bypass engines, big N1 fans. N1 is the primary reading. Both the CFMs and the LEAP Neos are all N1 out of the gate, so you don't even have EPR. They get rid of it completely. Is another leg coming up? Yes, we're going to do another leg after this. Can you still have CFMs when I have IAEs? Yes, you can. Yes. He said the ratio between suck and blow for suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Exactly. The suck, squeeze, bang, blow. The biggest, whenever you talk about EPR, everyone brings up the Air Florida Potomac crash, right? It's like, well, why do we also have, then if they didn't have EPR, they wouldn't have crashed if they would have had N1s. And that's not really true. That was a small factor in that whole crash, and we could talk about that in a little bit longer, maybe later. But the true engine pressure ratio is your true engine thrust, unless you have a frozen inlet or outlet probe, which would then read false EPR readings. But you would also have a couple other major differences. So, for instance, that Potomac crash on Air Florida, not only did they have so they had proper EPRs because the T2 probe was frozen, but their EGTs were way lower. The engine throttles, because the throttles move, were at not even close to the max travel. And obviously the noise, there's the noise. I mean, the engines, even though it says you're getting takeoff thrust, if it doesn't sound like you're getting takeoff thrust, you're probably not getting takeoff thrust. So there was a lot of indication saying that they weren't getting proper takeoff thrust, but you can see without Monday morning quarterback, if EPR is how you set power and you're getting your target EPR, the engines must be producing thrust because that's the true pressure ratio. Well, yes, it is, but if those probes are frozen over, you're going to create a different pressure ratio than what is actually being created. So that's kind of hit on that Potomac thing. 330 has EPR as well. Yes, it does. 330 has EPR. A lot of so Rolls-Royce, isn't Rolls-Royce and IAE the international aero conglomerate engines? Rolls-Royce has a part in the IAE engines. They're a big part of it. So it would make sense that the Rolls-Royce on the 330 would have EPRs too. They had to use the sound of the engine from the cockpit voice recorder to estimate engine's performance. Interesting, Michael. Conflicting airspeed readings, Stratocast. They had a couple of different conflicting readings. Like I said, EGT, the power wasn't, the thrust levers weren't up to where they should have been. The low noise, and also on the CVR, which is unfortunate. I've listened to the Air Florida CVR. I mean, the first officer knows something's wrong. I mean, I think he asked 3 times, is that right? That can't be right. And he's looking at, we don't know what he's looking at, but we're assuming he's looking at other gauges, cross-checking. I mean, from every takeoff that you make, from a Cessna 172 to a Airbus or whatever you're flying, engine instruments pretty much in the green, right? Everything should be in the green, or in this case, it's not really in the green. It's not in the red. But the indications are still green. So engine instruments green. Yeah, I check my EPers, thrust set. I over here check my EPers. Am I at the targeted EPer for takeoff? Yes. Are my EGTs where they should be? Yes. It's a really easy boom, boom, boom. You look at all three of them. If everything jives, you're probably getting good information. So, yeah, that was just an unfortunate event. Everyone tries to blame that Air Florida event on the fact that they had EPR. If they would have had N1, they wouldn't have crashed. While that's true, they also had N1 gauges in the cockpit, and the N1 was showing way less. So you could see the massive difference. I think they had N1s. That was the 732. They might not have. I take that back. They might not have actually had an N1 indication in that 732. Had they have had one, though, they would have easily noticed that the N1 was way lower. They also noticed at idle, holding short of the runway, that something was wrong. I know V1 means you're supposed to flying no matter what, but what the conflicting gauge info, would you ever still abort after a technical V1? FUBAR, situations are situational, right? So there are scenarios where an abort after V1 might keep everybody alive, but it's very situationally specific. I tell you this, if you abort after V1 and anybody gets hurt, guess what the first question is going to be from that investigator if you're still alive? Why'd you abort after V1? So situations are situational. There are scenarios, there have been scenarios in real life where pilots have aborted after V1 and it was the right thing to do. But that's a very, very small percentage. Every 737 except the NG sat on different levels of sketchy. There is N1 Haas on the 732? Okay. So they even had N1 gauges to see that the N1 was off. So we can kind of put that one to bed as the Air Florida crash because of EPR gauges. There was a whole slew of things that happened. I'll give you some basic target EPRs. So for 50%, 1.05, which is going to be your middle position here. So your thrust position or your thrust donut, if I can. Oh, that's cool. That's proper. See, so I take it out of the detent, and it's staying where it should be. So you see your little indicator there? That's all that little donut is. 50% is going to be right between those two tick marks. That's 1.05 EPR, and that should be approximately 45 to 50% N1. What you want to do, though, is you don't want to get in the habit of just looking at your N1s when you're flying EPR gauges. I know it might be easy, especially from the sim perspective, like, oh, I only fly N1s. I'm just going to look here to set power. Challenge yourself to actually start looking at your EPR gauges, and you're going to find, I still think, I mean, honestly, it's a very slim difference, but I still think setting power with EPR just seems easier. There's less, I want to say there's less movement of the needle, which that may not be true. I just feel like it's easier to read for approach. So 1.05 for 50. On approach, 320, set like 1.51, 1.5, 1.52 EPR, or 1.05, not 1.5. That'd be way more than we have right now, obviously. So we don't 1.05. And that's going to be a roughly that 50% mark. Now, that's going to depend on your load. It's going to depend on the outside environmental conditions as well. But that's a target EPR. 1.05, 50% on approach, same thing. Well, 1.05. When we start flying 21s, it'll be a little bit different. I'll have a little different target set for you. But yeah, 1.05. Know that number. That's your baseline, and you'll be good to go. Can barometric pressure affect EPR? No, but it can affect your N.
Traffic, Speedbird 95 Tango Delta. We are beginning descent to 8,000.
I don't want to say it can affect your N1, but you're asking the right question, Maze, because depending on the environmental condition, your N1s are going to vary pretty significantly what your maximum N1 is going to, what the airplane can produce at N1 speed. So you will know if you have an EPR gauge, you get a little bit more information because, like I said, it doesn't matter what the outside environmentals are because it's telling you exactly how much thrust is coming out of your engine. It's not telling you how fast the low pressure compressor is spinning, your N1 fan blade. It's telling you how much thrust that engine is producing at any given time. So there's really no right or wrong on this. It's like N1 gauges or EPR gauges are obviously equally as safe And they're obviously equally as popular. They're all over there's tons of airplanes with N1s. There's tons of airplanes with EPRs still. But N1 is, I think, the future. I think, what is the A350? I imagine the 350 is all N1. What about Boeing's new stuff? 787, are they all N1s only? That would be something I'd be curious about. 777, 787, are they N1 only? $350 is EPR? More specifically, it's the amount of power the entire engine is producing and therefore your thrust. Yes, Stephen, I don't know what I said. Maybe I said that wrong. But the entire engine from tip to butt, right? So if you're inlet, you can see it. Let me turn it down. We need to start down here real soon. We just got passed above us. But if I move the drone cam around, you'll see there's your probe right there. So that's measuring the pressure going in the engine, covers the entire engine, right? Whatever goes through. Now, I actually don't know where the gauge, where the reading probe would be for exiting the engine. That's a engineering question. Where would that be located? I'm not sure if it's modeled or not, but I would imagine it's... I actually don't know where it would be on the exit. Well, that'd be a good question to know. I'd actually like to know the answer to that. Is it? Surely it's not here. Most new Boeing is N1. A350 is thrust percent. 350 and 380 use different indications. Now that's interesting to me, Santiago. Gustavo says EPR is not the entire engine thrust, it's the turbine exhaust versus the inlet. Rolls-Royce engines use integrated EPR that derives a reading probe, uses the entire exhaust pressure. It's not the entire engine thrust, it's turbine exhaust thrust. So you're saying it doesn't measure bypass air? Hold on, let me think about that. It can. Yes, because it would have to. I think it samples. Well, let me ask Google. It does, though. It's got to do something. It's got to take the bypass air into account, especially because it's the IAE P7 probe is before the exit vane. It doesn't measure bypass air. It measures the pressures of the turbine exhaust over the inlet pressure. Interesting. It should not measure bypass air. I think we did pass TOD. That's all right. We can start down, though. We're going to let him get in front of us. We'll set 12 thou. For now, get us going down. I Googled it. Have you seen that clip? Well, if I remember correctly, the MD-90 takes boosted to turbine outlet. I think it depends. Bypass air doesn't have higher pressure. No, just higher speed. The integrated EPR from Rolls-Royce uses the fan pressure exhaust and turbine exhaust and integrate them to measure the ratio of the inlet pressure. We missed the TOD. Too busy discussing engine or gauging engine thrust. Yeah, now we're going down the rabbit hole. Basically, if you're flying flight sim, it's your thrust output of the engine. Leave it at that. Don't let Gustavo try to confuse you. Jet pipe exhaust pressure compared to inlet pressure, but it would depend on where it's measured from on the jet pipe, because then if it's in, it would be in the ambient air, which would be bypass. It would depend on where the actual probe is. I want to know. I bet Amir knows where the T7 probe is, which would be the exit probe, right? And now you know why N1 is easier. According to Google, EPR doesn't directly measure bypass air. We need an engineering chat. This is unrelated to IEs, but I heard people who work at MRO places say never to drink airplane water. Yes, I'm afraid of airplane water, Maze. I don't drink it. It's before the exit vanes. Okay, so if it's before the exit vanes, which would be here, then it would indeed not measure. Oh, we can actually go in here. Holy crap, this is crazy. So if it's in here, these are the exit vanes. then it would not be measuring the bypass air going around the engine. I heard when selecting flaps 2, the Fenix balloons because the slats rather than flaps. Is the real 320 mainly balloon because the slats or flaps? It depends on the flap which you're going to. So yeah, flaps 2. Oh my, look at that. It balloons when you're creating lift. So it depends on the position that you're, because some, like flaps 1 creates a little bit of lift. Flaps 2 creates a little bit of lift and a tiny bit of drag, and then 3 and 4 really create drag. So it's when you're creating those lift vectors, when you're increasing that lift where you get a little bit of a balloon, but if the autopilot's on, you're not even going to notice it. Where you notice it the most, honestly, is when you go flap 0 and the airplane wants to pitch up a little bit, because that AOA it's like, hey, I need a little bit more AOA. So it starts to pitch up, and you got to just nudge the stick forward just a tad. All right, but we are. Let's go ahead and drop it down here. We are a little bit high. We got talking about some really over technical stuff. Guru, did you see it? I think you saw the inlet. All right, we're gonna run it down quick. We're gonna go idle, thrust idle, open descent. We're gonna go straight to 10 thou. We'll catch up to our profile here. Down we go. Well, now, so I'm going to have to look in the engineering manual now. But if it's before the stator, or if it's before the exit guide vanes, then it would not measure the bypass air. Okay, so technically, it's not the entire engine, as Gustavo has pointed out. Actually. Just kidding. Basically, it's the pressure ratio, inlet, exhaust, jet air, jet pipe, which would... who has jet pipe overheat? Isn't that a channel? I like that name, jet pipe overheat. So it'd be the turbine air. Which would then make sense, if you think about it, if all these engines that are super high bypass, like the Pratt & Whitney 1100, the CFM LEAP, all these super high bypass engines, it would then make sense why they don't use EPR gauges. Because at that point, N1 is really going to be your Mac Daddy. All right, Magic Barrel Ref says 3015. We're going to do manual brakes, manual everything. This is kind of our first little test flight. We're just going to get a feel for the airplane. We'll get our 200. I'll tell you what. Let's set it up for a Cat 3 just to see how she handles. Temperature down there is 17, I think, and 3015 on the meter. We're going to hand fly the approach, but we're going to, for testing purposes, we're going to sync everything up here. All right, we're back on our descent profile. We'll stow the speed brake. Our bottom altitude, we're going to set 8,000 for Bourbon. 8,000 is set. We'll keep our 300 on the speed for now. Oh, must have just loaded in Fly Tampa Vegas. Nice stutter there. It was poking out from the left inside the vanes. Okay, Guru. How do you know what your EPR targets are for takeoff, since each takeoff is different? Do you brief that? Jeremy, we don't brief it. But what you're looking for is the indications. So wherever your tick mark is, so this will depend if you're flexing or not too, because you'll have the maximum power available, then you will have your takeoff power, which is your flex, and then the actual throttle position, which is or the thrust lever position, which is the donut, and then the indicated EPR needle. So on a no flex takeoff, it's very simple. The donut is going to go all the way up to the top, and it's going to be there with your maximum engine thrust available and your selected engine thrust for takeoff. So everything is going to be right on top of each other. When you do a flex takeoff, you'll notice a difference. You'll notice your donut is going to go where it should go, right where the calculated flex power is set, and then you'll have an additional orange or amber line for your maximum available if you were to select Toga. Maybe you got a wind shear or something happened on the takeoff roll where you went Toga thrust. So it would actually be a little bit more spread out, and then the E per needle will then go to its associated position. Whether it's going to that flex mark, you want to make sure it gets there with a flex, or if you're going Toga, you make sure it goes where it's supposed to be going. So it will depend on each takeoff, like you said, but power set 80 knots, that's where my eyes go initially, right there. They go right to the E per gauges. What are we looking at? And then our thrust set at 80 knots, and that's what I'm checking. I check, make sure my EPers are where they're supposed to be. I check the needles, and you're looking for symmetry, right? So kind of the same deal when we talked about the 310 stream in a roundabout way, like how the 310, Cessna 310 has all those gauges. You're looking for symmetry here. You're looking for symmetry. Make sure both needles are symmetrical up where they're supposed to be. EGTs should be relatively symmetrical. You see here we got a little difference in temps. That's fine. Totally normal. In fact, it's very rare that they would be exactly the same. Same for N1s. Make sure they are symmetrical and where they're supposed to be. I don't really throw the N2s in my scan unless I'm looking for vibes or something. All right, we're getting ready to go through 10,000 feet. Let's roll the speed back, 250 knots. Jeremy, remind me on the next stream, and we'll go into detail on that power setting. The next stream will not be an A to B stream. It's going to be a let's play with our new engine stream. So, I don't have it scheduled yet. I should have done it before the stream started, but it's all good. It'll probably be around 3 p.m. Well, depends on what time we get done tonight. We'll see.
Las Vegas traffic, speed for 950 Delta. We are right downwind.
I'll tell you what, Jeremy. We'll flex out of Vegas going back to John Wayne. So we'll do a flex takeoff just going back. And we'll all highlight the differences. Because we're going to do a return sector. We're going to go right back. We're getting through 10,000 feet. We'll get all our lights on. No DH is set. We still have a company message. That's probably from... What is it from? Load sheet? Or because we were late? We were way late. Yep, that's fine. All right, 250 knots. Let's do a thrust idle open descent down to 8,000. We'll activate and confirm, which we already flew through the decel, so that looks good. There she is. The American IAE livery is already out on Flight Sim TO. Ooh, maybe we should reload. The P2T2 probe inlet exhaust is a PT 4.9 pump has EPR pickup integrated at turbine rear stator. All right, so Haas is busting out the manuals here. Inlet exhaust is PT at 4.9 Temptro. Has EPR pickup integrated at turbine rear stator. All right, very cool. All right, so we know we've identified that it's at the rear stator, therefore it's not going to measure true bypass air of the engine. But I guess in a roundabout way, well, it wouldn't be bypass. It technically could, because it's getting the air from the front, which some of that air that's going through that probe will be bypass air. So it already knows how much. So technically, I think you could say that it does measure it, because if you're picking up air from the front of the engine, some of that air is bypass air. And if you're measuring the turbine exhaust air, you already know how much air went through the engine to begin with, so you could derive bypass air through that calculation, maybe? I don't know. I feel like we need to bring on an engine. Where's Amir? We need to bring on Amir for an engine lesson. From a pilot standpoint, 1.05, 1.052, 1.053, those are going to be your main power setting power setting indications. Now, what will be fun too is our full flap juice. We're going to have full 40-degree flap. Let's descend and maintain 6,000. We'll take it out past Boulder here. Las Vegas traffic, Spearwings 357 out of 8,000 for 6. We're setting up for an extended left base, runway 26 left, Vegas traffic. Captain Denny, exhaust sample with a trash bag. That reminds me of when we used to play jokes on flight attendants. We had to do an air sample, joke. You guys know about that? First time I witnessed it, I was completely
Vegas traffic, Tango Delta.
blown
We
away.
are behind Spirit and we'll follow you in. Leading a touch go 26 left.
Make sure your next flight's in the dark. Ooh, we could do a sunset departure. Basically, the first time I witnessed the air quality sample test for the flight attendant, the very senior captain, I was a relatively new FO on the Embraer, and he basically said, hey, he came up, we're all boarded up, we're just waiting on bags loading, whatever, and the flight attendant came up and he's like, hey, we need to, we're getting a message here on our system, we need to do an air sample check. A brand new flight attendant too, and she's like, okay, what do I need to do? And he's like, I need you to take this bag here, or get an air sickness bag, and I need you to go through the cabin with it open above your head and like collect the air as much as you can and bring it back to us, and then we can run it into our system, see what kind of air quality we have. And the ensuing like 5 minutes, I almost cried. Anyway, I just want to clean that window. It pisses me off. Canadian, no, I love the windows, man. We do have a nice little right there. I thought it was my screen at first. All right, here we go. Left turn. We'll slow it to 100. Yeah, we'll slow and turn here. Select heading. Coming around. Vegas traffic. Spirit Wings 357. Turn to left base 26 left. We're gonna come all the way back to 180 knots. Tell you what. Let's go here, and in the turn we'll go direct. Oh, we don't have a shand? Yeah, we'll do shand. Keep it coming around. Let's go direct shand. Nope. Alright, direct shand. VFE next, -10, flaps 1. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Over the lake. I do have mini FCU. I believe they are still waiting for the mini FCU to sign or finish their update. Look at those slats. Those slats actually look different, don't they? That is a great looking slat, though. Come back to 180. VFE next -10. It'll be close enough. We'll go flaps 2. Look how I love that animation. So nice. I have not deleted the Bellagio hotel fountains, Mateus. Sounds like something I should do, though. The JT-8 forward probe, located built in the same theory, measures total inlet pressure like V2500 low bypass, high bypass, same way that EPR is lower on the high bypass versus low bypass. A typical JT-8 1.9 to 2.08 for takeoff thrust. Okay. I see where you're going, Haas. What is the on-off switch on the window pillar? Oh. Anybody know what this is? Anybody know what this is? Oh, I think this is actually air conditioning vent. No, it's a light. It's this light right here. So back before EFBs existed, we actually used to have paper charts. And believe it or not, you'd actually clip them right here. And then you'd have to have a light to see your charts at night. I don't know. It does, you would think it would almost be an air vent, but it's not. All right, let's descend to 4,000. Let's arm it up. 4,000 blue, we're thrust idle, open descent, we're flaps 2, approach AP2. LS push button on. All right, Loke Star, we've captured it. Glide slope is blue. Now, I'm going to let it go with auto thrust here for a little bit because I want to see the way the airplane is behaving with auto thrust. Back in my day, I can't believe, does that make me old if I have to use, If I remember using paper charts and having to use the lights for the paper charts, does that make me old? I cannot believe that. That can't make me old. I'm not old, Steven. We are going to land by hand, Tim K. We're going to land by hand. And I haven't done SDS mode, but we're going to do a touch and go here for fun. We're going to do a touch and go. But I want to see the airplane do auto thrust because I want to see how the auto thrust handles itself here on approach.
Vegas traffic, Fever 95 Tango Delta. We are slowing down to minimum approach speed as we're config 3. We'll be coming in behind Spirit.
Alright. Why is he config 3? Let's configure early. So let's go manage speed, gear down. We're going to configure a little bit early, and we're going to let the airplane do its auto thrusting for testing purposes. And we'll do a touch and go. We'll do a bulk landing. Flaps 3. Look at that flap shake. Oh my gosh, this is real life. If you've done a paper jet revision, you're old. Oh no, Matthew Presley. Oh no. Hope the slow-mo helped with cinematic juice. Who was that? I gotta scroll back up. Sorry about Benji. Appreciate the support, man. We're gonna do cinematic slow-mo juice here too. All right, flaps full on the IAE engine. Oh, buddy, look at that. Look at that extra. Oh my gosh, does that not look so much better than CFM engines? See, because the CFM flaps are less. It's about 35. I want to say 35 degrees. I think it's there. 35, 37. Whatever it is, I know the IAEs have more. That is juicy. Full flaps, a little bit of shake. All right, let's start the recording now. We are recording. We'll do a full bulked landing. So we'll actually touch down. I won't select reverse thrust, and then we'll go around. Now, keep in mind, I have SDS off. So on the second approach, we're going to turn SDS on just to see if I can notice anything different. And then for the next flight, we'll do the full recommended curve and SDS on. IE juicy flaps mid reversers. Oh, wingnuts here. Dougal, frames for me have really, with frame gen, it doesn't really, I really haven't had an issue with frames, but it feels really smooth, I will say. Now I need to set my view properly here. I should do it on the ground. My view's a little bit off. I feel like I'm sitting really high. I think that's about what I want. I'm going to save that as my new default view. All right, so auto thrust is doing a good job. We got a quartering tailwind, 7 knots. Just picking it up there. Definitely gusty. All right, let's hand fly it. Autopilot's off. Auto thrust is off. All right, no reversers on this. Oh, the glide slope is off on Flight Tampa. LS push button's off. I forgot. LS push button's off. Bird is on. It's going to flash at us. Actually, we could turn the LS on. We'll turn flight directors off. Flight directors off. All right, flight directors off. LS push button is on, but we're not going to follow it because, look, that'll drive you into the ground. So we're not going to follow the glide slope. We might get a warning. I'm not sure. Replay's on. We'll float it out because we're going to go around anyway. Let's float it out. Let's see how she feels here. 1.5 on the EPR looks good.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 5.
Bulk landing, go around flaps. Maintain your pitch. Go around flaps. Woohoo. Positive rate. You're up. Thrust reduction. Oh my gosh. That thrust reduction sound is
Biggest traffic
spot
speed
on.
Short final, T6 left, touch and go.
Speed out star, let's climb back up. Thrust climb, open climb, 10,000 F speed, flaps 1. Speed checks, flaps 1. Thrust lever asymmetry there, everything's fine. Thrust climb, open climb. We're in the go, let's help ourselves out. Autopilot at 1. Let's make left traffic. Vegas traffic, speed range 357 on the go, 26 left, make left traffic, background full stop, 26 left Vegas. Alright, I felt different. Felt very different. I'm going to stop that recording. I'm going to save it. V2, B2, go around. Alright, so that's our first go around. I'm going to save my thoughts until the end here. There's S speed, flap 0, F takeoff check. Let's come all the way back around. We're not going to go all the way up to 10. Let's do, we're at 5.3. Let's do 6,000. All right. Speed alt star, 6,000. Let's come back here. Let's go Shand, 076, insert, pull heading. Continue the left turn. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to get on downwind here. We're at, let's go flaps 1, actually. We'll fly at about 210 knots. We'll select speed, 210.
Biggest traffic speed for 9 Delta that we have.
210 selected, 6,000.
Turning left for the downwind.
Turning left downwind. And I'm going to try the SDS system. Now, the rudder, I noticed rudder had dampening system as well. Did we screw up our box here? I think we did. Hold on, let's fix this real quick. Bound. Nope. Okay, let's go back here. Okay. How did we screw you up? Horn one way to skin a cat. Secondary, that. Boom, boom. Arrival, 26 left. Approach via. No via. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Direct to Shand 079. Insert. There we go. Alright. Let's come further left here. Pre-nose the FAF. I know, we won't go all the way out this time. I just want to get us set up here somewhat on a downwind. All right, let's try this. So we're going to go SDS on and rudder damping on. I'm going to go hand fly it too. So let's go autopilot off. Flight directors off. Bird on. We'll keep the auto thrust on. We'll make a turn here. I'm just going to do an S turn here. Feels pretty good. Raise your hand if you've been on an airplane with IAE engines and you heard that and you're like, are we going around? Pitch feels... Definitely I can feel a dampening effect. Let's try this. Alright. SDS won't work with it, just slide it on. You have to click apply. Okay.
2,500.
Really? You mean save? Let me try. Let me just turn it off. I'm gonna leave that on. I am full linear, Team Vodka. I am full linear. Oh yeah, we are still on Iveo. You hear the engine thrust trying to get up there? That's a faster rate. No, it should work. It's definitely slower. All right. Let's do a visual approach. Vegas traffic, Spirit Wings 357, turn to left base, 26 left, full stop, Vegas. All right, here we go. Auto thrust is off. We're going to do a short approach. Activate, confirm. 138, manage speed. We need to get on down. Gear down, speed brake out. Let's go. We're going to try it with this on. It just feels like a little bit slower.
We're doing a full stop. We might sidestep to 26 right in that case because we're still quite close behind her.
Okay, that works. Yeah, we'll 26 left. We're going to turn inside a reeling here. All right, S speed flaps 1.
2,500.
I like the pitch on this much. Not as is twitchy the right word? Maybe responsive. It feels less responsive, which doesn't feel less accurate, if that makes sense. It actually feels pretty good. Let's try this. And I'm going to try a real landing on this one. No bulk landing, no float. We're just going to do just a full visual approach. See how she handles. Oh yeah, I am using the thrust. Let's get the thrust in there. Daniel, I'm not using the -20 right now. I'm using fully linear. I haven't used any curve on my stick in a long time. So Amir did recommend SDS with -20 curve. For testing purposes, we're going no curve right now. We're just going to do a straight normal landing. If it's legal, we'll do a full stop. If for some reason it's not legal, we'll go around. But you know, the small corrections I make here, like for pitch, I'm gonna get a little bit high on the slope, and I'm gonna try to come down and get it. Like those feel like pretty accurate movements to me. Just kind of playing around with the glide slope here. Honestly, it feels pretty good. Shaq curve on the stick, got meds for that.
1,000.
Shaq oatmeal, my man. Good to see you, dude. Alright, let's do a normal landing. Let's record this one. Recording is on. Oh, let's not follow the glide slope. So we're going to run away from the glide slope here. That's fine.
Vegas traffic, Fever 95 Tango Delta, over 5 miles final, 26 right on the visual.
I can tell you right now, I like the dampened pitch. So like when I'm trying to make corrections and pitch here, you don't see that nose jerking around. So right out of the gate, I think I'm going to keep this on. Let's see how the flare handles. It has a new flare mode, right? Or it's tweaked. Let's just try to be on par with everything here. Let's try to be normal. All right, we're on speed. Everything's looking good. A little getting tad high, correcting. Bring a little power out.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Oh, I'm going for the butter.
5,
Oh, we went a little bit too aggressive. Ooh, that felt smooth. All right, let's go around flaps. Go around flaps. Maintain your pitch. Don't hit the tail. Ignore the CRC. Positive rate. Gear up. Yeah, that wasn't legal. I went for gamer mode touchdown on that one. So we went around. We're just gonna do a quick pattern as soon as we hit reduction. Ground effect was pretty strong there. Let's try it again before I change anything on the stick, because honestly, I liked it. I liked it. That thrust reduction, my goodness me. All right, flight director's off. LS push button off because it's just throwing me off. Birds on. Complete visual. Ignore other things happening here. We're going to just make a tight pattern. Auto thrust is off. Let's come back down to 4,000. I'm not going to do I'm not worried about the glide slope. I want to just try this ground effect. I mean, everything felt really good on that one. We got high, and I mean, I always feel like I picked the wrong airport for like testing. It's got a quartering tailwind, like 9 knots. Not very stable, but that's all right. We'll do a tight pattern here. I liked it. I don't think I want to do the 20 curve. I don't know if I want to do the 20 curve. Let's see here. We'll do a tight in pattern. We'll reactivate. Let's see here. All right, we'll stop that recording. We'll save that one. We'll do, instead of doing a leg back, we're just going to do one, and then we'll do our next stream later. So V2, B2, G82. That's our second go around. I saved that one because we were just going to go back, but instead of going back, we're going to dial in our flight controls here, and then on the next stream, we'll see if we can fail some stuff. So I think it's more important we dial in our flight controls than just fly back. I wonder if 20 is guidance for the TCA. It might be, but Amir was in here and he said negative 20 is recommended. I'm pretty sure he's aware of. I think he has a Thrustmaster side stick, so we'll see. All right, so the speed bed is clear. Let's go ahead and continue to slow down. Reelin's at 38. We're inside of that. All right, let's get spicy with it. Gear down, flaps 2. Yanking and bacon. Here we go. Via Phoenix -10, flaps 3. The pattern is tighter than ATP Cessna patterns. Fireflower, good to see you, man. Flaps full. This is going to be real tight. Just the way we like it. I mean, I was still wide on downwind here. I got confirmed that the curve is across all types of sticks from TCA to Warthog. Okay. Noted. We're going to be, yeah, I was way too wide on downwind there. Still a tight pattern, but we'll I tell you what, we'll just stay with 2.6 left. I know negative 20 is recommended, but honestly, it feels good. Let me try one more time here without the curve. Let's try without the curve. I mean, the quartering tailwind is not an ideal testing location.
5 500.
I don't know why we always end up in Vegas when the Fenix releases something new. I hate Vegas for this. Vegas is good for lighting engines on fire, not for determining stick sensitivities.
$100,
Keep driving her down.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5,
Going for that butter in the zone. Come on, baby. Where you at? Oh, yes. Caught the nose. I'm going to have to put some curve on my rudders. I'll tell you that right now. My rudder feels too sensitive. That one felt like a butter and a half right there. I'm not going to... Amir might get mad at me. I'm going to leave it linear, honestly. I'm going to leave it linear. I like the way that feels. I do need to adjust my rudders, though. I need to adjust my rudders. I'm going to need to adjust my rudders. Let's take it to the gate. We'll shut her down. I didn't have replay on that one. What was that touchdown? Was that, had to be -5? Was it really? That felt like a -5. Vegas traffic, Spear Wings 357. We're clear of 26 left, crossing runway 26 right, taxi to the ramp, Vegas traffic. I guess we got to make sure no one's taken off. Man, I wish I had that one recording. What was a -5? So we had what, a -23 on the floater. I don't know what our first one was, but that one definitely. I'm going to leave it, but I will adjust rudder pedals. So I think I'll throw in. We'll look at the rudders when we get to the gate here. -5, block 2 approved. Dave, absolutely. Block 2 approved. What I like about that SDS is, we'll have to watch the first replay, but without it, when I made those small, like you kind of see me doing this, almost like you would think it does nothing, but the airplane in real life, it's almost like if you do it short and fast enough, it tries to react but doesn't, and then you do it. I don't know. It's like a real fine way of controlling the pitch on the glide slope. In the sim, without SDS on, when I try that same method, I would get like these twitches in the pitch of the aircraft. With SDS on, that seems to be removed. So I definitely recommend SDS on with our limited testing so far. For me personally, though, until I find a reason to put a curve on, I'm going to leave it linear. I liked how I was able to catch the nose on the as it was coming down. Without auto brakes, you can, you got to be careful you don't fly the nose too far and screw it up. But if you have auto brakes on, after touchdown, you're basically holding that back pressure. I release the back pressure, and then I catch the nose before it slams in. Rookie pilots, they'll just let the stick go and just slam the nose down. I'm like, okay, welcome to the airlines. Let's try not to do that. But everything else felt good, honestly. That actually felt really good. SDS, it is the stick dampening system. So I've got some good idea. I want to end this stream because I want to update GSX. I want to update some stuff. We may not use GSX as we go through the taxiway here. Ooh, let's go park next to a JetBlue. We'll start the APU. We'll leave the lights on because we're going to be doing replays here. Oh, look at that modeling. Doesn't start right away. Proper. There we go. Might as well try -20 to feel the difference. I'll tell you what, Nabil. We'll try it on the next one just to see. But I like linear. I really do. I think they got rid of 4K liveries 49. The only ones I saw were all 8K. So unless there's a way to get 4K. Oh, wow. Look at, we're going to do replay, so it's fine. All right. Let's assess. And then we'll get out of here. Wow, we almost hit 1,000 likes. Do you think we can hit 1,000 likes before we end the stream? That would be a record. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. We have only 940 people in here, but if you haven't hit the like button, let's just go for a record. Let's hit 1,000 likes. Let's go to replays. So we're going to disconnect from my Veo, and I'm going to load the first one without SDS. So we'll open that. All right, now it's going to go wild here for a second. Let me turn the sim down. 1,000 likes for a return leg. Ooh, if we hit 1,000 likes, maybe we'll do a straight return. No, maybe we'll do a straight return. We'll see. Replay it on. All right, so this is the first landing without SDS on. And 1,000. Hey, chat, honestly, thank you. Thank all of you being here. I know it's a big day. Everyone's happy. V2 Block 2. There's going to be a ton of content creators pushing out content. So I thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to join this channel stream and hit that like button. It means a lot for me. It means a lot for the channel. I really do appreciate you. Thank you all that have participated. That is definitely a milestone. I think we had up over 1,200 at one point and 1,000 likes in a single stream that's only been live for 2 hours. How long have we been live? I don't know. We started at, I don't know how long we've been live. 2 hours and 9 minutes. That's a record. Yeah. That's a record for 2 hours. Appreciate you guys. Awesome. All right. So here we go. Let's watch the replay. I already saw a few there. I'm going to bring up the, does the flight controls move in the replay? Sometimes I don't capture. Yeah, they are moving a little bit. Look at that. You see how fast? Look. I don't know. It just seems fast. Maybe if we look outside, you'll be able to tell. This was without SDS. See right there, right there. You see that? You see how the see that? See the little twitch? That's pretty much not there with SDS. So this was our first one. I had auto thrust off. I thought I could turn auto thrust on. It's the initial quickness of the pitch. I agree, Team Vodka. That's what it is. That's what it is. Can't spell IAE without V1. Hey, Ramon Thompson, appreciate you, man. That's exact. Team Vodka put it in a great perspective. He said the initial quickness of the pitch, that's what SDS seems to smooth out that initial movement. And I couldn't agree more. So this was our first one where we were just doing testing purposes. Or reactivity. I don't even remember where this touchdown was. This one was, I think, a little hard.
50.
Oh, we didn't bounce that one. Oh! I'm going to turn frame gen off. So when I came off the ground, really had to kick that rudder in there, which was interesting. All right, the gear's trying to go up. All right, so that was that one, which we didn't love. So let's load the other one. Let's load this one up. All right, so this was, I believe this was with SDS on. I don't even remember now. I wish I recorded that last one, though, because that last one was the absolute juicer. In real life, it takes a little time for the flight controls to react fully, right? Just a tad amount, but not instant. Yes, Caleb. Yeah, they do take a little bit of time to react. If you're doing another flight, I'd recommend doing one during dark. The new lighting in and out is juicy. Oh, we'll do it, Carol. Matter of fact, if it's too... Should we just keep rolling with it? Should we do a second leg and then break something later? Very tempted. I'm tempted to run it to sunset. So this is where we just kind of floated out, flared a little high. I'm just trying to feel that flare mode. It feels pretty good. I'm going to need to go eat at some point. One more leg. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. This is where we did another go around here. Gotta love it. Listen to this redux right here. All right, I tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw up the Be Right Back screen, and give me about give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna do the air rack update, and I'm gonna update GSX. So it's gonna cause a relaunch of the sim. So it may take 7-10 minutes, but we'll see. I'll put up the be right back screen. I'll reload in, and what we'll do is we'll do a minimal braking flight. We'll do like a crossbleed start or something. I'm trying to think how we got time to do it. Actually, I tell you what, screw it. Let's just end this right now. And I'm just going to update a few things, and we'll try it. We'll do a reset. What has winglets? I don't think we have winglets yet. GSX will take an hour. Yeah, we're not going to do a GSX update. So I tell you what, hang tight. Be right back screen is going up, and we'll do a short leg at sunset. We'll look at the night lighting, and we'll do a short flight with SDS mode going back into a short runway ops. How about... No, let's go down to Phoenix. I tell you what, we'll go Vegas, Phoenix, sunset, night lighting, try SDS mode out, get a good vibe for the new flight model before we start trying to land in Burbank. All right, let's do some of that, and then we'll do something else later. So be right back. Screen's coming up, and I'm gonna do my best to quickly adjust some settings here, and we'll give it a go. So thank you for tuning in, and we will be right back. All right. We're having some issues here. So, let me show y'all what's going on. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it'll fix itself. All right. Apologize for the 597-minute turn there. We'll let the terminal load in because Fly Tampa being Fly Tampa. I could not load the airplane. The EFB was locked out. So I restarted the sim, which then took about 20 minutes. And then the first time I loaded in with the sim restarted, I spawned in with my gear down and the airplane halfway under the ground. So restarted again, and then it said the EFB was locked out, but now it's saying that the EFB is not locked out, I don't think. So if I go panel states and just do activate cold and dark here, maybe we'll reset everything. But I don't know. I'm having suspicions about this. The only thing I did was update the air rack. White screens on McDo? No white screens, but oh yeah, I do have white screens on McDo. Yep. I think we don't got ourselves a problem here. So, with that attempt, I apologize. We're probably just going to end it here, and I'm going to reschedule another stream for about maybe an hour from now. Fenix app crashed. Let me reload it. No, I don't think it's a livery issue. I will try reloading the Fenix app one more time because it did give me an issue there. So let me reload the Fenix app real quick. Stand by. If this fixes it, we'll go. If not, all right, restarting the Fenix app. Click out of the sim. And click back into the sim. So EFB seems to be working. Out of curiosity, what does ready state do? Nothing. So, I had the white screens been the livery causing it in the past. Yes, Al, I do remember liveries causing an issue. Cold and dark, that's default, and activate cold and dark. I mean, it seems to be, yeah, it seems to be, uh-oh, what happened? It seems to me is borked. So what I'm going to have to do is probably a full-blown restart, which is probably a good idea anyway. I'm going to have to restart everything. What I will do is we will set up a second, like I said, we're going to do a second stream. We won't do a second leg to San Diego. I got to figure out where we're going to load up from. We might load up in Phoenix and go to San Diego on American, and I'll update GSX and all that good stuff, and then we'll get some base failures loaded in, and we'll start playing with that. But yeah, I got to fix this issue first. So let me end the stream now, and I will reschedule something hopefully within the next hour. Nothing without the app working correctly. Well, no, the app is working correctly. We're so close, man. Let me just restart this real quick. We're so close. I am using, it's all Phoenix liveries. It's a JetBlue Phoenix livery. Okay, so now I've had this. So then this crashes, right? Oh, sim died. Sim crashed. Okay, that will end it. We'll end it there, unfortunately, but we will stream later. I'm gonna grab a coffee. I'm gonna grab something else, and I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna go straight to breaking it stream. We might do it. We're gonna do a second stream. We're gonna have some broken stuff. But we're going to save the hardcore, break everything, try to break Amir's brand new toy. We'll do that probably either tomorrow or Friday. But we will do a second leg tonight, and we're going to do some more. We're going to do a cross-bleed start, no APU, and we'll dig in there, see if we can find a good failure for the EPR, or not for the EPR. Ooh, we could do an EPR fault. Then maybe all the N1 we'll be happy. I'll think of something good. Check back here in about 30 minutes for the next live stream. Make sure your notifications are on, and be a friend, tell a friend. I'll see you in a little bit. Thank y'all. We'll see ya.